All right, are we good? Now it's showing that it's working, so I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, so I was saying, welcome in, Anna. Anyone want to get their name written on the donor wall? Send through your super chats. Show some love and support. We're getting it filled up. I got some new markers. I went to the dentist, so I just got back, and the left side of my mouth is not moving. It's all numb. So yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is that this is gonna be a quick live today. Kind of just gonna run through the Candace stream that she did yesterday. She ended up dropping a bombshell. I was saying that it's kind of crazy that there were Israeli searches going on, and um, they were searching addresses. They were researching different doctors and the hospital, just all things like that. And that was really odd. Now we have it proven that there were 12 Israeli cell phones located at the event that day. Not Israeli cell phones that are like people from the United States, and these were opened up in the United States. No, these phones were opened up in Israel. And so they are located at Charlie Kirk's event that day. Kind of crazy. But yeah, double tap that screen, show some love and support. We're going to get into this. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. My speech is going to be kind of weird. My face is going to be kind of weird because my left side of my face ain't moving the best. Can't even drink out of a dang monster drink. But I hope everybody's having a good day, man. Welcome in, Anna. Hope you're having a good day. Reginald, man, 19, have a good day. I hope you're having a fantastic one. Cole Olds, much love, much love. I smoked earlier, but yeah, I have been 2.5 weeks clean off alcohol. I don't drink alcohol no more, and I drank a little bit last night. And I woke up feeling like crap this morning. That's a sign to just not drink. So we're gonna keep running it up. Oh yeah, I want to fix the dono count because my mom pointed out yesterday that when she super chatted, it didn't go up in percentage. So we'll see if that works. I'm not doing too bad. Like I said, I just got back from the dentist. I had a filling and I had some work that needed to be done right here. So my mouth is numb and I can't. It feels like I've had a stroke. I can't really move it. Can't drink or smoke out of, or can't really drink or smoke that great right now. But other than that, I'm doing good. Blessed. Every day's a blessing. So we're gonna go over. By the way, thank you guys for 8,000 subscribers. That's crazy. We're just gonna keep running it up today. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, guys. You guys are the best. But yeah, so I got a little bit till my kids get out of school. They do have an after school program, so I might run it short and run it late and let them be there for a little bit. I don't like doing that though. I like having my kids right here with me where I am because I miss them all the time. Excuse me. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and we're gonna get into the stream. Reginald, you better be careful with that stuff, brother. But my back is finally starting to feel a little bit better from that injection I had Monday. So hopefully we just continue to keep going and keep doing well. Like I said, man, you guys are the reason why I can keep going and the reason why this channel continues to grow, man. So any donation you guys can send through would be the best. Get your name written on the donor wall. We already almost have this whole wall filled up, so we're gonna have to move on to other walls. We're gonna make this whole room a donor room, so there's gonna be names everywhere. You're gonna walk in here, it's just gonna be names in the whole room. But Jesus loves you too as well, Arm G. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the overwhelming support, man. And let's run it up. But like I said, man, yeah, I got an injection in my back. There's a prescription by a friend. You better chill out, Reginald, before I come over there and smoke you. Chill out, bro. But no, we're gonna fill up this whole name wall or this whole room with names. So yeah, send through your super chats, man. Help your boy reach his goal. Get your name written on a super chat wall. Show some love and support, man. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at some stuff right now on my PC. But we're gonna get into this. It is 2 o'clock darn near. It's 1:54 for me. So, but all right, let's get in this video. Like I said, so for those of you that were just coming in, we're gonna cover this quick and easy. it was already weird that there was Israeli searches in Google for a lot of the stuff that was surrounding Charlie Kirk's case, like addresses, specific addresses, phone or doctors, hospitals, other things like that, all going crazy. And now it's been confirmed that there's been 12 Israeli phones located there. How'd you almost die yesterday, Reginald? You better be careful. Oh, I'll be live tomorrow. I go live CDT time. I go live around 9 to 10:30. 9 at the earliest, or a little bit before 9:30, and then latest 10:30. But I usually try and get on live by 9:30 daily throughout Monday through Friday, and we're on for a good 6 hours. So no pressure, but yeah, if you guys want to get your name written on the donor wall, send through your super chat, show some love and support. As you guys know, this is my dream that I'm chasing, my full-time job, and we're running it up, man. I need help with clips as well. So once we start getting the clips going and the money starts rolling in from them like it is already, and we get more and more clips, whoever wants to help me clip, I will split revenue with you. So, oh, I know, I'm sorry, but let's get into this. Pretty explosive episode today. God bless. I hope you're doing better, Reginald.
All right, you guys, happy Wednesday for some people in New York City. Mamdani won. Okay, that's kind of the big story. The Republican establishment have a lot of excuses regarding that win. The excuses are ranging from because there was too much infighting on the conservative side to this country has been taken over by jihadists. I mean, you name it, they have an excuse. I think the correct answer is because the establishment is just in complete denial, left and right. What is happening is a populist movement. And what is happening is that we are really sick of Zionism. We are really sick of lies. In that same vein, in case you missed it, Brett Cooper is apparently the new Hitler, which I'm just wondering, can we just get these on iPhone alerts, like Amber Alerts?
Can we just stop with the whole, you're Hitler now? Like, can we just stop that? Like, can it just be done? Like, no one thinks that that's getting old and annoying and just used up and stupid. I mean, seriously. Like, at this point, it's just such a meme that no one really gives a hell about it, right?
A general Hitler alert so we can keep track of the newest person who said something totally sensible and is therefore now being accused of committing a Holocaust. It would just be easier that way for me as an iPhone user. Today, it is in fact Brett Cooper. So there's your update. And in Charlie Kirk news, nothing is making sense still. Least of all, the request and the confirmation window regarding the UVU event. I'm going to show you that. I brought the receipts today, as usual. So welcome back to Candace.
My whole left side of my face is just like over with right now. All right, let's skip past your intro. But I hope everybody's having a good day, man. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Double tap that screen, guys. Let's try and hit 100 likes within an hour. You guys got me for about an hour, man. So let's run it up. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. God bless you guys. Be careful, Reg. Have a good day, man. You better be careful, brother. But yeah, the whole left side of my face is just bleh. That dentist really numb me up, bro.
I'll tell you guys, there are a lot of stages of grief. The one they don't tell you about is when you get beyond all the stages, you've accepted that this person is not coming back, and then you just want to punch people in the face for lying about everything. I'm there. Everything they are telling us is crazy town, okay? I wake up and I learn something new. And I get angry. I'm so angry, I'm taking it out on the team. I'm like, no, this does not make any sense. I can't explain to you why it doesn't make sense because I went through Turning Point USA, but every little micro change is sending me in this moment. It's a very personal thing. I
gotta let my dogs in real quick. I'll be right back. I can hear them barking. That's freaking harassing people. All right. So let's run through this podcast, man. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I hope everybody's having a good day, man. God bless everybody. I would too, Z pal, for sure, bro. That's 100% on me. I would do that, bro. Candace is so beautiful.
Know how Turning Point operates their events. Things that the world does not know. I have been privy to. And that's why
All right, guys, by the way, I am going to start a 10 super chat goal of teal and higher. That's $5 and higher. Get your guys' name on the super chat wall and show some love and support, man. I hope everybody's having a good day. As you guys know, your guys' donations help the channel grow and help me continue to chase this dream of building a good, positive, fast-growing community on YouTube. What the hell? Okay. And you help bring the channel to a whole new level when you do so. Thank you guys so much for everybody who does donate and who has their name on the donor wall. And some of you have it more than one time, so I really appreciate it, guys. Much love. Sorry, I'm so slow right now because my freaking, I feel like my dentist appointment just made me all loopy.
I said, you know what, let's actually scour through my emails. I was like, Savannah, let's just go back so that we can share these things with the world, that you guys can join me in my frustration of wanting to punch somebody, anybody in the face, okay? So yesterday, we had mentioned to you that the timeline is absolutely absurd, okay? The absolute absurdity of Turning Point, as we learned, having received a request from Charlie, from UVU, for Charlie to speak on their campus in mid-July. Okay, just a few weeks before he dies. In mid-July, they get a request. Can Charlie speak on campus? And then they immediately approve that.
Hey, man, Reginald, shit happens, bro, but just make sure you stay aware and self-conscious and take care of yourself, brother. I need you in this world.
Request, and they schedule it as his first stop some 6 weeks later. That has never happened in the history of my having done campus tours, okay? This was a tour stop. And you literally get these requests months before you start sorting through them. I mean, I'm going to show you the real proof so you can grasp how atypical the setup is, okay? Charlie and I went on tour in April of 2024 together. We actually also split doing certain locations because they want to do as many locations all over the United States as possible. And April of 2024 is when our campus events began. I'm now going to show you an email of when we started planning that, okay? So keep in mind, back of your mind, this request for UVU came in July and they approved it for September. For my April 2024 event, here is when we started planning. Here's an email, okay? You will note that this email came in October of 2023. They told me, here are these events. As briefly mentioned, we're in the beginning stages of planning and requesting rooms for schools for next semester. Let me know. These are pending availability and approval. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, which I think we ended up doing, University of Pittsburgh, which I think we did, and the University of Alabama. We are talking about end of March and early April events, okay, in October of 2023. I am telling you guys, when we go back and we look at the calendar and we see that that request went out in mid-July, it drives me insane. It just screams at me that this was an inside job, okay? This was always a circumstance. This was not a special thing that happened. They would always say they would get requests in spring that they couldn't make happen, and then they would sort of roll them over and revisit those campuses, trying to hit all of the corridors of the United States the following semester, which would be in the fall. They would go backwards.
I accidentally put my 10 super chat goal for 30 minutes, so my bad. It was supposed to be for an hour, but if y'all want to get your name on the super chat wall, man, send your super chats through teal or higher. The wall is filling up, so I kind of got to make it so, you know, the higher super chats are the ones that get on the wall. I usually do every kind of super chat, but hope everybody's having a fantastic day, man. I don't know how long she covers Charlie in this episode, but we'll cover it as long as she is covering Charlie. Once she's off the Charlie topic, we're off Candace's episode. I really want to watch the 12 Isreali phone part, though.
Instantly get approved for an event at Turning Point USA. It reeks of an inside job. That is how I feel. And the more that we learn about the story, the little changes that happen, the inexplicable things that we're learning, it becomes clearer and clearer that somehow at some layer, at some stage, Turning Point USA is involved because they're giving us no clarity. Why? Why did this get approval so quickly? The reason why they have to plan these so far in advance is because Charlie travels like a madman, okay? He's not a person that has nothing on his calendar and can be like, yeah, sure, let's just do this event randomly. The second thing that was driving me crazy as well, which was completely atypical, is the fact that Charlie was slated to speak in Utah on September 10th and then was due to return just 10 days later to a different campus in Utah that's under 2 hours away. That's not how they plan events, okay? The idea is if you're gonna fly and you're already gonna be in that corridor, try to do those campus events back to back.
Right.
You'll do a sweep. We did UCLA, we did Berkeley, we did Stanford. You do a sweep overnight, over 2 days. You don't fly to Utah and then—
Can you guys imagine how tiring that would be to get on private jets every single night, every single fucking couple, like Like, yeah, just it'd be very tiring. I couldn't imagine doing it.
Go back home to Arizona and then fly to Utah 10 days later. Nothing is making sense, and we need to get to the bottom of why that is. Because it's looking to me, and you can let me know if you agree, it's looking to me like the apparent plan was to assassinate Charlie Kirk, who had at long
Shout
last
out you, Carmel. Welcome in.
faltered on the pro-Israel
Double tap
cause.
that screen,
Okay,
guys.
his
Let's try
words,
and
not
hit
mine.
50 likes.
And then to stage a hostile takeover of his brand and of his legacy by pretending that his best friends in the world were like Susie Wiles and co. Somehow she made it onto the stage to eulogize him at this very public event. It's so publicized, we can't even doubt. I mean, obviously, look who he's having speak. Your job around the world is to now support this administration and this administration's efforts because we've turned this event into an effective Trump rally. It looks that way to me. Then they were going to tell Americans, as Pastor Rob McCoy did, that it just so happened that Charlie Kirk kept notebooks and diaries. He was so diligent that he wrote down his succession plan featuring who he...
Yeah, and that's crazy too. I mean, the whole putting in diaries and like, I find that, I mean, it could be possible, but like planning years in advance, that's just insane.
wanted to take over for the organization in the event of his untimely death. Like, in the third notebook, he was like, oh, and if I accidentally get shot on campus, here's what you should do. Call Erica. And then after you call Erica, come find this notebook. And in this notebook, you'll see that I am using adjectives like fantastic and heroic to describe Mikey McCoy. And if during this process,
it's all scripted, you guys,
of our imagination, common sense comes on and we're like, oh, but wait, Charlie, wasn't he like a boy genius? He's a pretty bright kid. Wouldn't he have maybe formalized that succession plan outside of like a diary? Maybe call one of his many lawyers, maybe formalize it in a will, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you are thinking about dying and you need to make a plan, you make a will.
If you are thinking about dying.
I'm sure he had a will, but no, he wanted to put it in these notebooks. And then the plan was to guilt us, I think, to try to haunt us with the ghost of Charlie's notebooks that we're never going to be allowed to read, but we're supposed to accept that they most definitely read, like for sure. That's what it feels like. Do you agree? I think their thought process was it will be much easier for us to control the spirit of Charlie Kirk than the actual living, breathing Charlie Kirk. That's the vibe that I'm starting to get as I keep discovering all of these strange anomalies. And in the spirit of Charlie Kirk, in case you missed it, we're supposed to think that he would want us to be mad at Tucker Carlson and that he would want us to stop speaking about his murder and to instead unite and to get behind and support what feels like a hostile takeover of his company and his brand and to commit ourselves further.
Everybody sees that's a hostile takeover too. I mean, if you go look at the views are in the shitter on this channel, bro. And it's just crazy how they're on there and they still have it named the Charlie Kirk Show, which it should be, but it should be like changed for a memorial. Like it should be like the TPUSA show, remembering Charlie Kirk, or like having Charlie Kirk's name in it. But like, I don't know. To me, it's just all fishy business.
To the Republican cause, right? To do everything that we can to make sure that, well, Mom Donnie, as just one example, does not become the mayor of New York.
Gosh, look at him, man. I cannot believe he's mayor.
Well, guess what? It looks like we didn't do that. Looks like the plan maybe failed. Despite the billionaire bucks that were flowing into the anti-Mamdani campaign, he won pretty handily against Andrew Cuomo, which like 5 minutes ago, the Republican Party was telling us he was unbelievably corrupt and that he should be in prison. And all of a sudden, it was our duty to get the word out, to get people to vote for Cuomo somehow again. Bill Ackman almost personally ran against Mamdani, right? At times, he even demanded to have a debate with Mamdani, which I don't understand the context of why Mamdani would be debating Bill Ackman if he's not running against him. Point is, Mamdani won. Okay, Bill gave $1.75 million, and Mamdani won, irrespective of the money that was donated against him. Michael Bloomberg also gave money to a Cuomo-affiliated super PAC. He gave $8.3 million to stop Mamdani. And it didn't matter. The Airbnb co-founder, Joseph Gebbia, gave $3.1 million. It didn't matter. The Tisch family gave $1.2 million. It didn't matter. Still, Mamdani won. Why? Okay. If we're being honest, he probably won during the first mayoral debate. Okay. Just like if I reflect upon 2016, Trump kind of won in the first Republican debate because he was just kind of saying F you to the establishment, and it was pretty apparent. I want you to take a listen to this question. It's shocking, actually, if you've never seen this. This is a question that was asked to the new...
Everybody that's new to the channel, make sure you say what's up in the chat. Welcome in. Hit the subscribe button. Shout out where you're from in the chat. Hit the notification bell after you hit the subscribe button so you can always be a part of every single live. Double tap your screen, get those likes up, guys. Show some love and support. If you want to get your name written on the donor wall behind me, all you gotta do is send super chat teal or above. We got 20 minutes left on the goal. I accidentally set it for 30 minutes. So, but God bless you guys. I hope everybody's having a good day. It is Thursday today. Tomorrow's Friday.
York City mayoral candidates about which foreign country they would visit first if they won. So to be clear, the question on its face makes entirely no sense, but this is how it was answered. Take a listen.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? That's right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Of course.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Till?
Dude, I feel like anti-Semitism is getting to be like a trigger word for me. Thank you for the subscription, Jerry. I appreciate you. Sorry if I'm slurring my words. At the dentist, they really numbed up this side, so like this whole side of my mouth is just messed up. But thank you for the subscription. God bless. But it's like, dude, if I hear the word anti-Semitism one more time, I might just freaking explode. Like, it is so annoying at this point, dude.
Where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting.
Like, if you're smart and you know the talking points and you know how these people are and you know what it is, this is just so ridiculous hearing this guy talking what he just said. Let's just replay what he just said. Our 2 greatest allies.
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war.
Shout out Idaho.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just...
And that's a good answer. But that doesn't mean that he can't be a shill. Like, people don't understand that, let alone the fact that he is a communist.
jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right.
How does that go into what foreign country would you visit first, being the mayor? How does it go from that question to, do you believe Israel has the right to be a state? So basically, they're trying to say because he said he wanted to stay in New York and help New York, they're going down the road of calling him an anti-Semite, right? They're giving them these questions saying, do you believe that Israel has the right to exist and blah, 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 all off the question of which country would you visit first. And they want you to say Israel. So that's why they're going down that road.
To exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
Notice.
As a state with equal rights.
He won't
Not as
say
a
it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And his
clear.
answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike you, I answer questions very directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah.
Sick type of year.
Just like, this is our country, you guys. That's it. You know what? I'm going to take my 19th trip to Israel. Oh, well, I'm going to take my first trip after my son's bar mitzvah. Oh, I was planning on stopping over on the way for our honeymoon. We were going to stop and just go to Israel and do whatever we could. It's ridiculous and it's obvious. And the way that the establishment comes down, if you don't peddle those talking points, he says something totally normal. Yeah, I'm going to stay here in New York. Why do I have to make a trip to Israel? And he says, I'd rather work with the Jewish New Yorkers that are here. That makes sense. Why are they all coming down on him? Why have all of our politicians, left and right, sold us out? Okay? Republican Party.
Lonely Ocean, I agree with you 100%. God bless, brother, who subscribed. Thank you to David Turner for the subscription. God bless you, brother. On the road to 10,000 subs. Can't believe we hit 8,000 yesterday. I am so grateful for the feeling of gratitude. It's the best feeling in the world. If you don't feel gratitude, then you feel like you are ungrateful, and that's not a way to feel. I never thought I'd hit 1,000 subscribers, let alone 8,000. Thank you guys so much. Oh, Shadow Patriot with the $20 dono. Thank you so much. I gotta grab the marker so I can write your name on the wall. Give me 2 seconds. Thank you so much, man. You should have said something on the dono, man. Thank you, though. I'm gonna go get the marker real quick. What's around here somewhere? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Found it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Shadow Patriot for the first dono. God bless you. We got 1 out of 10 donos out of. Oh my God, I can't talk. The dentist literally made me loopy. The happy gas and the numbing on my face. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry for the bad commentary. Anyways, 1 out of 10 donos. 9 more to reach our goal. Thank you so much, Shadow Patriot. God bless you. Let's get your name written down on the wall. I just want to see what the full name is. Is it just Shadow Patriot? Shadow Patriot Terry. God bless you. Everybody go subscribe to Shadow Patriot Terry. Looks like he uploaded some gaming videos and stuff. Not for a while, though. Get back on your YouTube channel, man. Let's collab. All right, Shadow Patriot. Let's go. Thank you so much to Shadow Patriot. Got your name written down, brother. God bless. I appreciate the 20, man. God bless you. Where we at? It's still, now it says 157. Ugh, that little gold bar down there does not really do its job. But thank you so much to Shadow Patriot for the dono. You're a G. Welcome to the See Me Now family. Hopefully you were subscribed. I'm assuming you are because you donated. Thank you so much again, brother. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be in every single live. God bless, brother. Not interested in the fame, brother, just the content. Yeah. Oop. Yeah, I agree with that. My freaking headphones. I gotta get new headphones, and I'm gonna get a Shure mic too. But I agree, bro. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and seeing your channel made me want to play Call of Duty some more. I love Call of Duty, and I haven't played it in so long. It makes me want to play. Your guys' donos really do help the growth of the channel and the evolution when it comes to getting new equipment like mics, or it comes to just helping the channel continue to grow and get the studio more upgrades and stuff like that. So you guys always are very much appreciated when you send through your donos like that. So thank you again, Shadow Patriot. God bless you. And I'm glad to have you a part of the family. And I love that name because we need more patriots in this country right now. So sorry if it sounds like I'm slurring my words. The dentist really messed me up today. So let's get into this, man.
I'll never forget during the presidential
9 more donos, $5 and above, guys. 13 minutes left. God bless, guys.
debates. They were all wearing, the majority of them, I think there was only Vivek Ramaswamy was not wearing the Israeli pin. I'm like, you're running for president of the United States. What are you doing wearing the Israeli flag as a pin on your jacket? No one can answer these questions. And they do the same thing. I love Israel more. No, I love Israel more. No, I love Israel more. Keep in mind, by the way, Mamdani won, and New York has the largest population of Jewish people of any city in the world next to Israel. So that says something, okay? And he still won. Now, did he get the majority of the Jewish vote in New York? No, but the exit polls are quite stunning. He got way too much of the Jewish vote in New York, I would say. And I'm going to bring in Mark in my ear to mansplain what we're seeing here on the exit polls. Mark, can you please mansplain?
Yeah, as you can see, it looks like he, despite not winning the Jewish vote, he got a huge proportion of it. 32% is pretty insane for allegedly how anti-Israel he is. And even deeper in here, you can see that Israel was a factor in a lot of these people's votes. This is according to a CNN exit poll of about 4,700 people coming out. And really, it's an election for mayor of New York. I don't see what this has anything to do with that.
Yeah. I mean, this is just something, and I think it also speaks to when Norm Finkelstein was on our show and he was explaining that even amongst the Jewish community, like the Israel question is now here and it's not going to go around. It's not going to go away. This is sticking around. But I guess the bigger, broader question is why didn't MAGA? Why didn't MAGA? Why didn't MAGA do the thing? We've infiltrated MAGA and we told them to do what we want and we wanted them to all make posts, anti-Mamdani posts. Just to be clear, even Donald Trump, President Trump, dedicated 900% more Truth Social posts to ensuring that Mamdani would lose than to ensuring that Charlie Kirk's murderer was found. 900% increase in messaging coming from him since he didn't even send one message about it.
Yeah, no, it is pretty scary, man. I hope Mamdani does well, but if you guys should look up the 100-year plan for the Muslims and stuff like that. Like, people are worried about Israel taking over, and they have taken over a lot, but Israel's not the only country or group of people that are thinking about that. There's a lot of, there's a lot of different plans out there, so we got to be aware. But I hope he does good. I don't know, man. I don't live in New York, so I guess it's, I pray for the people there.
investigating Charlie's murder. But the question is, why didn't MAGA listen even to Trump? Why didn't
War Thunder. Let me write that down. No, I haven't, but it sounds familiar. Is it on PC or is it on War Thunder? Maybe I can stream it. Let me know, man.
we all get on our platforms and say something? Because people like
I
Dana
miss playing
Lash.
games. I miss hopping on the Xbox and just gaming out for a little bit. But being a dad, you know, I'm the only parent in the household with them, and it's like, you know, they're my everything. Playing with them is awesome. But I think getting an Xbox, my daughter would love that because she loves gaming with me. And I gotta get her into zombies or something like that. She would love that.
Want to know how are we going to win if you guys don't use your platforms and encourage people to vote? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. We don't recognize this MAGA because the fact that you're in it makes no sense. You were never Trump. If you're telling us that MAGA is now Josh Hammer.
PC. Have you ever played Outlast? Dude, that game, it's a horror game from Steam. It's freaking awesome, dude. I love Outlast. Such a good game. Such a beautiful, awesome game. Scared the shit out of me, though, when I was younger.
The MAGA is not MAGA, okay? MAGA needs a new leader. And it's pretty obvious that you guys recognize that we've never been with you. We've actually never been on the same team. And if you think you're going to infiltrate and convince us that this is the same party while we get gaslit about everything that's happening, like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured, not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who? That's when it was game over. Because Israel First is a cancer cell. It is a cancer cell left.
Denise, I literally just said that they have a 100-year plan to be like 10% of the population, get into positions of power, change laws, do all this, like a silent takeover type deal. So I did just say that.
Or right to everything and everyone that wants to play around with it. It is a radical psychosis that is manifested.
By the way, Mamdani is the same person that said that violence is a construct. Like, what was it? Let's see. He said, Zoran said he wants to empty out New York City prisons because violence is an artificial construct. Why? How does this help New York? Tell the families who lost their loved ones. Tell the people who are afraid to walk home at night or take the subway. Irina, we won't forget you. And that's what I was thinking. When he said free subways and all this other stuff, I said, man, do you... Yeah. We don't need another Irina situation. RIP to Irina. God bless her, man. Sad, man. And hope, you know, more people are going to get hurt if this way of thinking continues to just, you know. But he also said that New York City or police officers shouldn't respond to domestic violence calls. People without guns and more training on those situations should. Little does he know that a lot of domestic violence calls are what lead to a lot of officer-involved shootings or officer-involved injuries. So that's why they send police officers, right? You look up the statistics, a lot of domestic violence calls get violent, right? Look up Outlast, Shadow Patriot. It's freaking awesome.
Itself within both parties, and it is so radical that in case you missed it yesterday, they started attacking Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper, 23-year-old, bubbly Brett Cooper. She makes the majority of her videos dedicated to pop culture. Yes, she covers things that are, I would say, mainstream politics, nothing too daring, never speaks about Israel. And she did her part, by the way. Zionists wanted her to do her part and encourage New Yorkers to get out and vote against Mamdani. But it's not enough, of course, because this is a radical ideology. You give them 100%. You even say one critique, and they don't want to break bread with you. They want to destroy you. And that's what they want to do to Brett Cooper. Because she watched the totally deranged Tucker is not MAGA Republican Jewish coalition event, and she agreed with the majority of sensible people that demands to censor speech, to deplatform is not only childish, it's also ineffective. It's also antithetical to what it means to be a
Lonely Queen, I agree 100%.
Conservative. So I'm going to let you listen to what Brett Cooper said.
It's scary when you have daughters and you have kids and you know these plans of these other countries and you see how they're letting them infiltrate. You see how they're letting them take positions of power. You see how they're changing these things and making it more dangerous in areas. And it's just like, what do you do? You know, it's
about
scary.
Randy Fine. And let me know if you're just so offended that you think that she needs to be canceled and destroyed. Take a listen to what Brett Cooper said.
By the way, guys, we got 6 minutes, 40 seconds left on our super chat goal. 10 super chats, $5 and above. Get your name written on a super chat wall. Thank you again to Shadow Patriot for the 20. You're a real G. God bless.
Randy Fine, if you don't know who he is, he's a representative from Florida. He's the same guy who bragged about not washing his hands after he had a handshake with Netanyahu. He's repeatedly introduced bills to criminalize anti-Semitism, infringing upon free speech. I mean, he obviously, I'm sorry to say, but he obviously cares more about Israel than he does, you know, principles like free speech. So, buddy, like, my advice to you, Randy Fine, is just move to Israel at this point. Like, considering you had to go through anger management classes a few years ago, I genuinely think you would probably be happier if you just moved.
Well, I agree. It's like in Dearborn, Michigan, Yeah, Shadow Patriot. Check it out and play it. It's freaking awesome. But it's like in Dearborn, Michigan, when they have the call to prayer at 5 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that, or like all day, completely interrupting the community. But not only that, in rallies, they're chanting "Death to America." Like, what?
Israel. And that's not a dig at him. That's just a fact. It's a nudge of encouragement. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be healthy. I think you would be happier if you just moved to Israel. You could be over there singing songs with Mike Huckabee.
Agreed.
Seems like pretty sound advice. Rather than trying to make this country Israel, why don't you just go live in Israel? And here's what she had to say regarding Ted Cruz. Take a listen.
You are so blinded by your ridiculous, insane hatred of Tucker Carlson that you cannot see how irresponsible and hypocritical you are being. I mean, these tweets from Ted Cruz, I'm going to read you next, are a great example of this. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, "They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Political violence is a left-wing phenomenon. Enough is enough. We need to shut it down." And then in response to Fuentes and Tucker this week, he tweeted this. "Trump's bombing of the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. Good. So now you're turning around and you're calling somebody that you don't like a Nazi. You're doing this out of blind rage because you're so angry that the conservative base's attitudes are rapidly changing, that Nick Fuentes is getting national attention, and so you have turned around and in response, you are compromising your own values and anger, which is such a dangerous precedent to set. And unfortunately for you guys, yes, the attitudes are changing. So again, it makes sense why this group is incredibly frantic."
She's a voice of Gen Z, so you would think that the good thing to do here would be to listen, to break bread, for someone to reach out and invite her onto a show so they can talk about it, so they can hear their voices. You might recall Charlie Kirk did this. He sat down with Gen Z and said, "I'm trying to tell them that they are pushing an entire generation away with their actions." But we know how they responded to Charlie Kirk doing that. They started calling him an anti-Semite. They started squeezing him up into the last moments of his life. They were making financial threats to him. Not just financial threats, they made good on those threats. People like Bob Shillman took $2 million away from him because he let Tucker Carlson hit the stage. They've learned nothing. They've learned nothing. And so rather than trying to reach across and say to Gen Z or to say to Brett Cooper, "Hey, I'd love to have you on our show," or "Hey, I'd love for you to meet this person," they're already calling her the white Candace Owens. If you're Aaron Wexler, here's an actual tweet. Okay, white Candace, what is a Nazi then? Like, what? How does that make any sense? Why are you calling Brett Cooper the white Candace? Like, why are you even thinking about the fact that Brett Cooper is white? Why do we keep seeing this recurring theme of Jewish supremacists constantly having to comment on white people? Like, why does she have to be the white Candace? That's ridiculous. Nothing, we don't even have the same ideas. It's completely, she's saying something sensible. But it gets worse. Ted Cruz, who's a pretty sensible guy, comes out and tries to big timer. I don't know how he thought that would land. She's 23 years old. It looks very loserish to try to big time a 23-year-old with, "Who are you?" Here's what he had to say. "I don't know who this angry..."
By the way, anyone that doesn't know about the 100-year plan or whatever, I'm gonna read a little bit of it on this MacBook here. In a chilling internal memo, the Muslim Brotherhood laid out its long-term strategy to conquer North America through what it called a civilization jihadist process aimed at sabotaging and eliminating and destroying Western civilization from within. The detailed 18-page document, written in 1991, surfaced in 2007 during the Holy Land Foundation trial, the largest terrorism financing case in U.S. history. More than 3 decades later, the Brotherhood strategy is no longer theoretical. It is materializing just north of the U.S. border in Canada. The Muslim Brotherhood, in transitional Sunni Islamic movement, founded in Egypt in 1928, is committed to establishing a global caliphate governed by Sharia law and often... sorry, guys. And I have the actual project as well that I can pull up. An often extreme set of laws on a range of religious and social matters that Muslims believe was given to them by God. Though often cloaked in the language of charity and civil society, the Brotherhood's true objective remains Islamic dominance, something its leaders have repeatedly emphasized. Indeed, the group's founder, Hassan al-Banna, once declared, "It is the nature of Islam to dominate, not to be dominated, to impose its laws on all nations and to extend its power to the entire planet." And while the Brotherhood renounced violence in the 1970s, its ideology is broadly seen as a stepping stone to violent jihad. Its teachings provide the foundation for jihadist groups like Hamas and Al-Qaeda, and inspired notorious terrorists like Osama bin Laden and Islamic State founder Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of October 7th attacks on Israel. So yeah, you can read that at meforum.org. And then you can also find the whole thing on investigativeproject.org, the whole 18-page document. So, yeah. Double tap that screen, guys. Show some love and support. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We have 58 seconds left on our 10 super chat goals. Send through your super chats, teal and above. Get your name written on the wall. I hope everybody's having a great day. Let's continue.
Lady is, but she's missing a key distinction. Fuentes calls himself a Nazi. He has said that Hitler is very cool and Hitler was right and he is on Team Hitler. If you explicitly side with and advocate for Hitler, you are an actual effing Nazi. Like, first off, class it up. We don't need dropping F-bombs to a 23-year-old. Secondly, trying to big time her and act like you don't know who she is when you have done various things with the Daily Wire, including you were featured in a movie that Brett Cooper starred in at the Daily Wire, Lady Ballers. You're good friends with Michael Knowles. You know fully well who Brett Cooper is. And like, that was a super classless tweet coming from you. Like, what does she have to do? Like, run for president and not win to be recognized on a global scale? Again, doing nothing to bring people over to their cause. And because it's not just about trying to big time people, but you will find that there is this current of just sheer evil that Zionism goes hand in hand with, trying to deconstruct who an individual is very quickly. They began pouring through all of Brett's old content, looking for ways to go after her character. And they came across a clip of her speaking to Sean Ryan last year. Now, before I give you the context of this clip, I want you to listen to it because it will really help you process just how spiritually evil and possessed these people are, okay? This is a tweet that went up, a couple of tweets that went up saying essentially she's a witch. I'm not kidding. This is a real tweet. What a surprise. Brett Cooper and her mom engage in witchcraft. She's not a conservative. I don't care how hard people want to gaslight me about it. Here's another tweet. Brett Cooper, the most recent hero of the woke right, is a secular, nominally religious spiritualist. Her views are inherently unchristian, but that doesn't matter to the woke right as long as she agrees with or permits their hate.
Gosh. I'm going to go grab my sunflower seeds real quick. I'll be right back.
Hatred of Jews. She's good to go in their book. This is not a Christian movement. Here is the clip they are referring to.
We did all sorts of things. My mom visited mediums right after. I mean, I haven't done that and I kind of want to, but she did. She went to multiple mediums, like one in New York where you don't tell them or even his assistant like who you are or anything about you, and you go to this hotel room and he would just like sit there. It was like talking about it is so weird. And both her first husband and David popped up.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we're like, there's a 17-year-old young man here who wants to speak to you. I mean, it was like, I was actually just thinking about this meeting the other day. I was Googling, trying to see if I could find him. I need to ask her mom the name because I would love to go just do this. But yeah, she was able to speak to Don, her first husband, to hear from him. She had a miscarriage between the boys, I think. And I'm pretty sure that at one of the medium things, that baby came in, said something.
You know the lights just dimmed behind you twice.
I saw that.
Okay, so now let me properly contextualize the conversation that they're having. It's actually one of the most compelling and moving conversations I've ever seen Brett Cooper have. It's a very powerful episode of the Sean Ryan Show because she tells her backstory and you realize how much substance she has and the things that she lived through. She lived through a lot. This is somebody who had twin brothers, and one of her twin brothers dropped dead from a heart attack unexpectedly. And when she describes the dynamics of what they went through as a family, meaning things you don't think about, having an identical twin brother and then one half of you're literally a split cell, dies suddenly. What that does to the other twin brother who has to
That's really sad.
Walk by the mirror every day and see his brother, but his brother's actually dead. So her brother that survived went crazy. She takes care of him. He is in a mental hospital, and she's talking about the grieving process that they went through, what her mother went through. Her mother went and visited mediums. Like, may you never know the pain of losing a child. Like, it is something that I can't even fathom the pain of losing a child and how it rips through her family. And she effectively lost a second brother because of having lost the first brother, and trying to come to terms with the fact that her family's never going to be the same again, how it led to divorce, all of these things. And they're just going,
yeah, when I lost my son, everything crumbled. Like, it makes your whole life,
She's a witch. Her mother went to go visit a medium. That's it. Case closed. I mean, what is wrong with these people? I am telling you, there is no way that we can break bread. The Israel First movement, like I said, is a true cancer. It just wants to destroy. There is so much hate. But I also want to be clear that they are growing increasingly dangerous because they are radical at their hearts, because these are the descendants of Bolsheviks. This is not something just to laugh at. It's something to pay attention to, okay? Because if they're going after Brett Cooper in this demonic of a way, someone who's just a bubbly girl who speaks mostly about pop culture, and now they're trying to dig up content and say that she's a witch, we're supposed to drown her, burn Brett Cooper at the stake, then where does that put the rest of us? And their rhetoric is getting dangerous. They're saying another 9/11 is coming. I'm going to tell you guys about that in a little bit. Don't go away. All right, you guys, I've been speaking a lot about away regarding that.
And that's what they use.
But there was this riveting
rhetoric. They use all this rhetoric to make people that are radical and crazy want to do something to the people that they're trying to use this rhetoric about, and then they act like it was just some random event when it wasn't. They try to incite this violence. But it's sad and it's insane. 24 more double taps on your screen and we will be at 50 likes. Thank you guys so much. My son passed away from SIDS, Rachel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Don't wish it on anybody.
Segment that apparently happened in July on CNN that I saw for the first time this morning as it was going around on X, and it's really amazing. And it really is just, I guess, how people feel about me in the establishment media in a nutshell. So let's take a listen to CNN.
Not only is she stupid, but she's also disgusting, right? I mean, Candace Owens has got to be one of the most disgusting folks who ever gets airplay on any major network.
And this is actually not even the worst of Candace Owens.
She's an anti-Semite.
That says quite a lot.
Yeah, she's an anti-Semite. She's anti-gay. She's an anti-Semite. She has said stuff about the history of slavery in this country that's disgusting. Yes, it's funny insofar, that her statements make no sense. But when we really get to the core of the issue, she's just a disgusting human being, and that's the bottom line.
I'm sorry, but that's just objectively funny. It's funny because they're being serious, and it's funny.
It.
When we get to the core of the issue, yeah, she's an anti-Semite. Yeah, she hates women. She hates black people. When we get to the core, she's just a disgusting person. All right, cool.
Thank you, Mo. I appreciate you. God bless everybody, man. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, man. Tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully you guys have some good plans for the weekend. I got these new markers. This marker sucks, actually, but I got the name written down pretty good. Thank you again, Shadow Patriot, for the dono. If you guys want to support the channel and help me grow and help me along my journey of chasing my dreams, send a dono through, get your name on the donor wall. Everybody that sends donos, you guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. You guys help me get new webcams, and you guys help me get all this new stuff and help the channel grow and help it progress, and it's awesome. Your son's flying high with Jesus. Thank you so much, Rachel. Or is it Rochelle? Rachel or Rochelle? I appreciate you. I know I think about it every day. His pictures over there, I have his ashes next to my bed. I sleep with him every night. My father's ashes are down here as well in my studio. So I think about him every day, man. Straight up. My mom has a necklace with his ashes in it. I had a necklace with his ashes in it. Don't wish it on anybody. It's yeah.
Keep plodding along. A couple of updates on the Charlie Kirk story, and something that is really bothering me in the back of my mind. Actually, a lot of things are bothering me, but here are two more things that are bothering me. Charlie was never rendered any first aid immediately. I know the security team. I know that one of them is supposed to administer first aid immediately. We don't see that happening. I've seen everything from different angles. When he's down on the ground, they don't put any gauze on him. They don't even put a hand where the wound is to try to stop the bleeding. In fact, when they pick him up, he is flopping all the way to the car. His neck is not even being held in a manner like they're trying to stop the wound from opening up. And something that really struck me as what is going on is the fact that he was never even put on the ground after he fell from the chair, okay? I'm going to explain this to you. Now, I have the back footage, I have the side footage, and what you can see is that the first thing that happens is the security guard actually grabs Charlie. So Charlie doesn't actually fall from the chair. The security guard lifts him and guides him onto the ground, which is what you're supposed to do. Obviously, get low. Unless you're Mikey McCoy, when shots go off, you're supposed to get low.
Yep.
And so he puts him behind the table, but he guides him on top of a suitcase, an equipment suitcase, so to speak. I'm going to show you guys that because no one has actually caught on to this. And at no point do they take him off of this, okay? So whatever, like 30 seconds pass, and it just strikes me as really odd that you wouldn't put him flat and straight, and then they're all kind of huddled over him on top of a suitcase, like an equipment box, so to speak. So here's this. I'm going to show you that.
Welcome in,
Look,
Greg.
has anybody caught this? Charlie was never actually put onto the ground, and his head, which we're obviously blurring out here, his head is flopped over.
What? What angle is this?
He is not level this entire time as they are laying over him. They never put him on the ground. I find it very strange that those equipment boxes are even there. They're on either side of him, which is very strange. As far back as we could look, we couldn't see this sort of a setup. Everything is weird this day. And on the inside, they have these boxes. So I'm actually putting this out here because A, it's weird, but B, I am wondering, and maybe somebody can look this up, so I know everybody is looking at different angles of footage, if they moved that box that Charlie was on, if that box was moved before camera boy comes and removes the cameras, or was that equipment box still there? Because that's only about 4 minutes that passes, and I don't recall seeing that equipment box in the aftermath, and it's just weird they kept him on it. Like, that's just not even in common sense scenarios. If I was there and I was not being paid millions and millions of dollars to secure the venue like these individuals were annually, I would know that you have to get a body flat to administer any sort of aid, to assess things. I actually don't know what they're doing for about 20 seconds, for about 30 seconds down there. I don't know what they're doing. They seem to be huddled up. Doing what? Doing what exactly are you doing? If you are not securing the wound, if you're not even trying to get his head level, what are you doing? That's a long time to be down there, according to me.
Well, it did look like they were passing some stuff around, right? It did look like I don't know. To me, the whole situation was just sloppy.
And common sense. Just common sense. You got to do something. They don't even open their bag to try to administer any aid. And they're paid millions of dollars per year to do that. Anyways, the second thing, if you have that footage,
no one should ever hire that security team again.
You can see if that box is moved, I would like to know if that box is still there in 4 minutes later when they start taking down the equipment. Second thing that is bothering me is, 1 millionth thing that is bothering me is Mikey McCoy's instant phone call. We've already discussed it. It's strange, okay? They're definitely lying about the fact that he's covering his ears, because I just saw more footage and he never stops this move for a single second. Even when he gets way beyond and starts going left towards a parking lot and he's finally out of view, he never once puts this down. So still holding and maybe thinking, what? It doesn't make any sense, okay? Anyways, I have been sort of not wanting us to engage in setting aside our common sense, obviously. The excuses that we have been given, none of it makes, the excuses make even less sense, actually. And the excuse that we were given about what Mikey was doing is like running in the back of my head. Blake Neff, who was there, he's also carrying on Charlie Kirks' show, and he was pretty fired up about people asking questions about what Mikey was doing. And I just want you to listen to what Blake Neff says that Mikey was up to in those seconds. Now, like I said, we can track Mikey, okay? Here is what he says, just to listen to what I actually find to be quite odd about this. Take a listen.
Yep. The shooting occurs. I am next to Mikey. Both of us hear a loud crack. We both turn. We both see Charlie, who has been shot. Both of us, I think at about the same time, realize that means there is a shooter who is on the scene. And you just hear the crack, so you don't know, did it come from far away? Did it come from close? Is there a mass shooter unfolding right now? So I and him both had the reaction of, let's get out of here before we're...
Yeah, okay. I'm going to stop you right there, bud, because if you both had the reaction of, let's get out of here, first of all, that's cowardice. I mean, I would have been running right towards Charlie, like, get the fuck out of here with that. Second of all, if your reaction is, well, let's get out of here, why are you walking away calmly? Like, why was Mikey just walking away calmly, like, like, yeah, if you got the feeling of let's get the fuck out of here, it's we're gonna run away. Like, Mikey was just, it's almost as if he knew it'd only be one shot, allegedly, right? It's almost as if he just knew. He put the phone up to his ear and walked away, right? Anyone that's new to the channel, man, make sure you guys double tap that screen, hit the subscribe button. We've already gained 20 subs this stream. That's insane. Continue to hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subs. And double tap that screen, man. Get those screens. Double tap. Show some love and support. Thank you to Danielle for the subscription. God bless you. We do have a 10 super chat goal up. Any color, $1 and higher. Get your name written on the donor wall behind me. Your guys' super chats help this channel go a long way. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Are both shot. That is not us abandoning Charlie. Charlie had a security team. They all leapt immediately into action, and they got Charlie out of there, which was what their job was to do. My job was not to get in the way and screw this up because, like, I had to be a hero. That was not my job.
To screw what up? Screw this up. Coward, bro.
I remember even running past, both of us going past the SUV that we came in on, and me thinking...
That's what I was saying, Sandy. That's exactly what I was saying.
Should I get in that car? And then thinking, no, that's a really stupid thing to do. And then I kept going. So I was not with Mikey, or I don't remember being with him. I think I was ahead of him as we left.
Yeah.
And then we get out, and I run for, can't have been more than 15 or 20 seconds. And then I realized there hasn't been another shot, so the shooter has likely been detained or stopped or something, not in immediate danger. I pause, I look around me, and I see Mikey. And I see Mikey there. And truthfully, I will never forget what I saw because I've seen Mikey almost every day for the past 2 years. I know his personality very well. He's a very bubbly guy. He's a very happy guy almost all of the time. And I'll never forget what I saw because it was clear in the moment that he was profoundly freaked out. What I'll always remember is the way his lip was quivering, which I'd never seen before. And you very rarely see from someone that he was freaking out. And then I think he literally said to me, I might be imagining this, but I think what he literally said was, then he was looking around and then he says, I need to call Erica. And then he takes his phone and he begins calling Erica. And I don't want to disclose how that call unfolded, but he did that. Your mind extends all of this, but that is happening within a minute of all of this occurring. I remember he calls Erica. Around the same time, I pull out my phone and I call my mom just to say, Mom, there's been a shooting. You're going to see it on the news. I'm okay. Pray for me. I've got to go. And I remember that call. And around the time I put that phone away, and then he immediately calls his dad. He calls Rob McCoy and he says, Dad, someone shot Charlie. You need to call all of your pastor friends. Charlie was hit. We need everyone to pray right now. And that's what he told him. And I guess it's very disgusting for me as someone who witnessed this, who saw Mikey hugely distressed and then step up in the moment, because after that call was over, I saw Mikey get total mastery of himself, that he realized he had to step up in this situation. And from that point, he was like a general directing a battle where he was, grabbing
From
people and saying, okay,
where is this happening at? What?
We need to get to the hospital and we need to do these things. And you guys need to wait here. I need to get in here to get information so that I can get it to Erica. And when we learned he was dead, he came out and he told us. And then he says, now none of you can say anything that you've heard because Erica is not going to hear about this from anyone except me.
Okay, so here is what is wrong with that. First and foremost, because we have further footage of Mikey walking, there's no way he was covering his ears. Okay, he doesn't dial and he keeps it like this all the way past Charlie's car. Think Charlie's coming in. Mikey goes straight past the car and then he goes all the way to the left and he never brings his hand down. Okay. He's not covering his ears for that long. That doesn't make any sense. Blake might think he's telling the truth, but it's not a true account of what happened on that day. Okay. I'll say that again. Blake might think he's telling the truth. So it is possible that Blake is not lying. Okay. But it is not a true account of what happened on that day. Clearly, it looks to me like he knows where he's going. It is up right by the parking lot, that in the general direction of the parking lot that he seems to be going, straight and then to the left. And he is on the phone already. And Blake Neff is nowhere to be seen. You can track those movements. We are told that within the minute of
Stealth, I agree with you 100%. Just fake, weak-minded people, no loyalty in this camp whatsoever. God bless everybody. I'm sorry if I'm slurring my words a little bit. The dentist really numbed my face today, and this whole side of my face is not moving the best. Thank you guys for the subscriptions. Make sure you guys keep hitting that subscribe button right above my head with the notification bell so you can be a part of every single live stream. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, man. We're going to hit it by the end of this month. I swear. God bless every single one of you guys. I have a 10 super chat goal up of any color above $1 and up. Get your name written on the super chat while I'm trying to fill this whole studio room with names on the walls. It's going to look sick. God bless everybody, man. Jesus is king. Let's go.
Charlie getting shot, he called both Erica and he called both Robbie McCoy. And that's one of those little things that's really messing with me.
Thank you.
Because the implication here is that the call with Erica had to be fast. Okay, the implication here is that the call with Erica had to be fast. I want you to imagine you get a phone call, okay, from whoever saying that the person that you love most in this world and the person that you are married to has been shot. How fast are you getting off that phone? You're staying on the phone. You're asking questions. There's a series of questions that need to be answered. You scream. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Where is he? Where do I go? Blah, 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 blah. Is he okay? I mean, there are a litany of questions that would be asked. And please don't tell me that this is some situation where that wouldn't be the circumstance. I am so tired of the you wouldn't know what you would do. I do know that you're asking a series of questions, which means naturally, if what he is saying is true, and until they reunited, which does not happen in our eyesight, we do not see Blake and Mikey reunite when we track Mikey all the way straight down to the left, okay? That 12:23 minute has got to be over by the time he sees his lip quiver, by the time he says, I have to call Erica, and then he's going to call Erica, and I'm supposed to believe what? This was a 15-second phone call? Hey, Charlie's been shot. Got to call you later.
Thank you guys for your subscriptions. God bless you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm eating sunflower seeds. I'm a mess right now.
Because I got to call my dad and ask him to pray. By the way, that one too doesn't make sense. You could call your dad after you call 911. I mean, there's so many things that would happen before I called my dad and asked him to pray if you're really going to snap into it. And I know for a fact also that one of his first phone calls, it wasn't just 2 phone calls he made 3, because he also called Elizabeth McCoy, his wife, who screamed at the office. Okay. And so we're not being told the truth. That's what I'm getting at. We are not being told the sensible truth. Was his phone call to Erica only 10 seconds? Like you just drop that news and keep it moving? Or was he already on the phone with Rob McCoy? What happened? Okay, I need clarification because every day that goes on, it feels to me like Turning Point is engaged in a cover-up. And there's no other way to say this. There's no other ways. I don't care who at Turning Point tweets. I literally do not care. I will breathe fire on all of you. I know how these events work. Why was this event?
I just love how Candace is just like this. I don't care. I'm gonna just get all of you. You guys are all on my hit list. Like I'm an enraged best friend. Like I just love her.
Confirmed so quickly when it was requested so late. Answer these questions. I need answers to these questions to understand what happened on that day. Because the way that Mikey moves is like he knows where he's going. It's like they know where they're going to meet. And we know that they got to the hospital very quickly because Blake and Neff says elsewhere, they got into the hospital within 25 minutes. Okay. That means they knew instantly where the hospital was. They knew which direction to go to, the communication that's flowing. I think Frank said he was on the phone while they were in the car with his family members. Don't quote me on that. So all of this happened. You instantly got to the hospital, which by the way, the hospital was put on lockdown when Charlie came in, is what we were told. They let Mikey and the Turning Point boys in. Maybe that's true. It sounds like it is true. Obviously, we know that you were there when they came out and said that Charlie had died, according to Blake Neff and according to Frank Turek's testimony. But a lot of this little stuff is not making sense. Okay?
Agreed,
it's
Ashley.
not making sense. And you cannot tell me that to dispel this rumor, right, by letting people see the call logs, by letting people see the video footage would somehow hurt the case. Because that's the BS they're selling us right now. Like transparency would hurt the case. And like I've said, if transparency would hurt the case,
Thank you to Kim
then it's
for the
because you
subscription.
don't have
God
a
bless.
case. Okay? If transparency would hurt the case, it's because you don't have a case. And if you're telling me that your phone logs on that day would somehow hurt the case, you are asking me to be an idiot. And I can't be an idiot. I can't pretend that I was born yesterday. You're lying. They're lying about the phone calls. They're lying about the timing of the phone calls. The phone calls don't make sense. Just want to say that. I'm going to chill. I'm going to get a little fired up. I said I wasn't going to do that, but I'm getting fired up again. Okay. Now, I am hopeful that we're going to get some more clarity in the future. And something else that I want to say, building on yesterday, the feeling I'm getting that they were positioning Mikey to be the new Charlie. Well, here's another little fun fact. Obviously, after Charlie died, there were no new scheduled posts on his YouTube page, meaning like, on your YouTube page, there's the live section. That's where you guys are right now. They had the live videos of people at the memorial event. But in terms of like scheduled posts to go out, they didn't bring back his YouTube channel and start scheduling those posts until after the memorial event, which makes sense. It would have been all hands on deck for the memorial event. And when they came back and began scheduling posts on Charlie's channel, the first post they scheduled was Mikey McCoy's speech. It was a picture. I'm going to show you this. Look, so it goes in order from bottom to top. So you see you've got Charlie and Ben, you've got Charlie and Jack Posobiec, you've got Charlie, and then it stops. And then when they bring the channel back, even before they put Erica's speech, they put Mikey McCoy and his wife. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. This stinks to high heaven, okay? Of all the speeches you could have picked to put first, right? You could have picked J.D. Vance, you could have picked Trump, you could have put Erica. Erica's the second. You put Mikey McCoy and his wife. What's going on? Anyways, I am hopeful that some more points will be clarified tonight when the very anticipated interview drops between Jesse Waters and Erica Kirk. I will be watching.
Hey, G, thank you for the $2, brother. God bless you. That's 1 out of 10 super chats on the goal. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless. I'm going to write your name down on the wall right now.
I am actually ecstatic to hear more from Erica. I know she's obviously been given that time to grieve, and I'm hopeful that she's going to provide just a bit more sense to this entire situation. I need more sense applied to the situation. Lastly, and switching gears here, what I want to say to you, and this is building upon what I said earlier, is pay very close attention because all of the wrong people, and by this I mean the pro-Israel crowd, are signaling hard to us that another 9/11 is coming. They're jacking up the jihad rhetoric. Everyone's a jihadist. Muslims are coming. The Muslims are here. Mamdani, there's a jihadist threat. Something big is coming. And the Pentagon, okay, like where the Department of Defense is housed, the Pentagon, which was...
Thank you so much, brother. Your name's written on the wall again. We need 9 more super chats to hit our super chat goal. 10 super chats, $1 and above. Get your name written on the donor wall. Thank you guys so much. All this helps the channel grow, helps your boy continue to chase his dream by bringing real information, going over everything, and always trying to search for the truth and build a good community like we are doing on here. I'm building one of the best communities on YouTube. I can't be any more grateful. Almost to 10,000 subs, and I'm so very much grateful. Thank you so much. No problem. Keep up the real info. Thank you so much, AG. Welcome to the family. God bless you, brother. Let's go.
Implicated in 9/11. A lot of questions about what the Pentagon was up to. A lot of questions about the Pentagon, okay? They have just given press passes. They've just put Laura Loomer in their press corps. I'm not kidding. Check this out. Check out this headline. Conservative activist Laura Loomer, a Trump ally, says she has a new Pentagon press pass. Now, this is of interest. It should be of interest to everybody because you don't have to be a Laura Loomer hater or a Laura Loomer lover to know that Laura Loomer quite literally has psychiatric issues. Okay, she has been on multiple
Yeah, if you don't know, Candace Owens and Laura Loomer have major beef.
150 holds. She is the person who, in case you didn't know this, chained herself to Twitter when she got banned from Twitter. And she wore a Star of David. Now, crazier than the fact that she chained herself to Twitter headquarters and was wearing a Star of David and trying to correlate being banned from Twitter as being a Holocaust is the fact that Laura Loomer is factually not Jewish. Okay, so she's living in a delusion that she's even Jewish. That was politically expedient for her to say that she was Jewish. She can't produce any bat mitzvah pictures because it never happened. No, bat mitzvah just never happened. She became Jewish, in essence, I suppose, for political reasons, and has gone so far in this identity crisis that she changed herself to Twitter headquarters and made it like a Jewish thing when they kicked her off of Twitter back in 2018. Now, I don't even agree with the fact that they kicked her off. I don't agree with them kicking anybody off. But you should know that our Department of Defense, for whatever reason, is signaling that she's an okay person to be in the building. That just seems like maybe a flight risk. Like if you're just interested in basic safety and defense, you wouldn't allow that person in a building like the Pentagon specifically. And they're doing that. Why?
Yeah, they're having a bunch of problems allowing just everybody in there. One of the top secret places on the planet. And they're just allowing anybody with the press pass in there. It's insane.
Because she has proven over and over again that she has no soul and she will lie over and over again on people, on places, and on things that she sees with her own eyes, as long as she defends the state of Israel, which has absolutely nothing to do with her and her ethnicity, which is insane, okay? On top of that, we have Josh Hammer, who just looks evil, just looks like a Bond villain, who is similarly signaling, along with many others, that there's going to be another 9/11. And again, the pro-Israel crowd would know a little something about that. Take a listen to what Josh Hammer said.
New York City, for the time being, it looks like you're pretty screwed. For the time being, it looks like you are literally going to have a Karl Marx quoting, Hamas-loving, red-green alliance sicko. Yes, he is an absolute sicko. You're going to have this guy as the next mayor. A quarter century, just under a quarter century, actually, after 9/11, after the...
God, every single time I see Josh Hammer's face, I just want to freaking squeeze a stress ball. Like, oh, cannot stand it.
Largest
sorry, I'm terrible. I know, allegedly.
Islamic mass terrorist attack in global history, certainly in American history, but find me another single casualty event that killed that many people as were tragically killed on September 11th, 2001, a day that as a native suburban New Yorker myself, I remember all too well. Less than a quarter century later, they are going to have a Muslim mayor, and not merely a Muslim mayor, but a Muslim mayor who has refused repeatedly to utterly condemn things such as globalize the Intifada, who injected his unique far-left, noxious brand of Middle East politics, somehow injected that into a municipal election there for various identitarian identity politics reasons there.
Who are you more afraid of as an American, Muslims or Zionists? I'm going to go ahead and say Zionists for me personally, because like whenever they get on this thing where they start talking to
both. I just got done reading you guys the 100-year plan, and I have it pulled up on the computer. Like both, we need to watch both parties, okay?
About like there's going to be a war. Whenever they start itching for a war, like they want a regime change in Iran, they find a reason that something happens, and suddenly our boys are being sent. So what I will say is your best guard against this is just to refuse to fight in the war. That I think they're foreshadowing. Just refuse, honestly, on a principle, refuse, because our administration has been infiltrated and there are extremely evil people that are at the helm of the United States military and that are not caring at all about American lives, in my viewpoint, not taking a stance whatsoever for the freedoms that people in the past have fought for. Like this administration is not even fighting for free speech on college campuses anymore. And it's a turnaround. It is a 180 from the Trump that came down the escalator. I will not support it. You're not going to convince me that this is the MAGA movement. It's not. And the reason I know it's not is because all the Never Trumpers are praising it. And I've always been against the Never Trumpers. So if Trump joined the Never Trump party, then good on him, but I'm not following him there. So I'm going to stay on that topic before we answer some of your comments. We'll throw it to a few sponsors. All right, you guys, the Fed just dropped interest rates again, and that is great news for American homeowners. If you are feeling overwhelmed thinking about the other very uncomfortable. The window. Stephen Forker writes, Candace, I've been a supporter of Trump since 2016, but after Charlie's death and the complete lack of transparency, is this still the same Trump that Charlie, you and millions of others voted for and believed in? Absolutely not. And like I said, it was before Charlie's death. Then the mass down moment for me that we had been completely occupied was when he said, why are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? A story was released later that he was protecting some of his donors. And that's the problem. You know, that's his vice. Trump loves money, and it looks like he has sold his soul for money. That's the reality. And like they're not going to convince me that I have to support an administration that wants to gaslight me about a person who harmed children. Okay? Not going to happen. John Diamond writes, Dear Candace, if we are in the Matrix and you are Morpheus, all you offer is the truth. On a personal note, thank you for helping the scales fall from my eyes regarding Israel. As always, love to you, George, and your kids. Christ is king. Indeed, he is. And look, we all wake up at some point. I'm grateful if people have learned from my show. I hope.
Yeah, we all wake up. Welcome in, Score or Score. You know, eventually, you know, I agree. Like, I am not with Trump no more. I'm not with any politician. It just gets to the point where money's their god now, you know? And it's very unfortunate because I thought Trump would have been different, and it was very interesting watching the rise, but now it's not interesting watching the fall, because with this fall, or with what's going on, but he's taking us with them, you know? Thank you guys for the subscribers today, man. You guys are running it up. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here much longer. I had a dentist appointment today and all that other fun stuff, but I had to hop on and say what's up to you guys and cover the fact that there was 12 Israeli phones at the TPUSA event, along with other information that we went over. So I hope everybody's having a good day, man. We just need 9 more super chats to reach our super chat goal. 33 minutes left on that. $1 and above, get your name written on the super chat wall. Thank you to Shadow Patriot for the $20 and AG for the $2. You guys are bosses. Thank you guys so much. I am a moron. Okay. Sounds good, brother. Sounds good, brother.
Hope that people will challenge themselves to read the books, because you can't just realize what's happening today. You have to also recognize what Israel, how it came together. You have to start with Sigmund Freud, the early Zionist movement, Theodore Herzl, his connection to him, why they were connected. We talk about this on my book club. Even if you can't join the book club, you can still buy those books. And so I would start with The Assault on Truth by Jeffrey Masson, and then move on to this most critical book, which is Sigmund Freud and the Jewish mystical tradition. I think
agree,
the combination of those two books are absolutely potent to the Zionist narrative. I truly do. And you'll also start to recognize the psych tactics that they use on us, the gaslighting. That is why they celebrate Sigmund Freud, is because he mainstreamed gaslighting people that they harmed. That's just a fact, an inescapable fact, as Jeffrey Masson, who was in control of the Sigmund Freud archives, points out. And Andrea writes, please help us locate the video of Charlie Kirk's entire answer to the first question that he was asked about Jesus Christ at Utah Valley. I had no luck finding the entire 8 to 10 minute clip. Only 20 to 60 second videos come up. It shouldn't be this hard to find. My producer made a note that it has made the rounds and that we have it. I think the best way to find that stuff is always on X. I really do think that they're
All right, I'm not going to just keep going over these comments with her. Yeah, it's pretty crazy day, to be honest, you guys.
Time for the hot topic of the hour.
Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day, man. I see you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. He sold us out for a little under 300 mil. I agree, Score. It's just sad what happens when you put your trust into a politician and you get your heart crushed. And he's not the only one that's done that to people. But I hope everybody's having a good day, man. God bless. I just see the wall behind me filling up with names on the screen, and it just looks so awesome. It's just gonna look so awesome in here once the whole wall is full, and we move on to other walls. It's just gonna be awesome. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed, man. We gained 40 subscribers today. That is insane to see. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, man. Tomorrow's Friday. What are your guys' plans for the weekend? Anyone that's new to the channel, welcome to the See Me Now family. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. If you haven't, you better hit it now with the notification bell. Double tap that screen, show some love and support. And yeah, I don't trust politicians no more. I'm over it. We need to rally together and be united instead of always divided. All right, I'm gonna go grab something real quick and I'll be right back. Thank you to With Wings for the subscription. God bless. Go grab something. Watch out. Zeus. I still have my cowboy boots on. Woo! Oh, gosh. Thank you to Anthony Gardner for the subscription. God bless you, brother. All right, man. Well, I hope everybody's having a good day, man. We're going to get off here in a few minutes. We'll probably cover this and hop off. And then I'll see you guys later. So we have 29 more minutes left on the Super Chat goal, guys. 9 more Super Chats, $1 and above. Get your name written on the donor wall. As you can see, it's filling up behind me, and it's starting to look fantastic. Thank you to everybody who supports your boy and supports me along the journey. As you guys know, this is my dream, and we're continuing to achieve my dreams by continuing to grow. It's insane to watch, and it's awesome to have such an awesome community on YouTube. So God bless you guys.
It is now.
Tomorrow we're going to go over the 100-year plan as well with the Muslims. I have it all pulled up here, and the documents, which I can't read Arabic, so we're going to have to get it translated.
Day 37 of this government shutdown. President Trump again urging
It's just insane how long the government's been shut down. At this point, it's just ridiculous.
the Senate to end with the ending of the filibuster to get things going. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune says it is not happening. The breaking news this morning is the FAA is now being forced to reduce air traffic levels at 40 key airports beginning tomorrow morning if no deal is reached. Democrats, meanwhile, are riding high after the blue sweep in Tuesday night's elections. But the Trump administration is responding with the fight has just begun. New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani meeting with Big Apple executives, business executives, as employers and residents are worried about his effect on the economy and obtaining federal money. The president discussing all of this with Brett Baer on Special Report last night. Watch.
I thought that New Jersey would do better. I didn't think that Virginia was going to do very well. I didn't think the candidate, didn't really have my support. The Cuomo situation, it's just, he had too many things against him. I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well because I love New York. For 1,000 years, communism has not worked. Communism or the concept of communism has not worked. I tend to doubt it's going to work this time.
At one point he says, turn the volume up.
So hear me,
Yeah.
President Trump, when I say
I've been waiting to see what his response is to this.
to get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
How do you respond to that?
A very dangerous statement for him to make, actually. He has to be a little bit respectful of Washington because if he's not, he doesn't have a chance of succeeding. And I want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed.
Did you see reaching out to him?
I would say he should reach out to us.
Is there a deal that can be made to end this government shutdown in your mind?
Well, I think the Democrats have become radicalized. I think, this never happened before. They always extend. An extension is very easy. It's done all the time. You extend, sometimes you extend 4 or 5 times. I mean, they become radicalized lunatics, actually, in a true sense. They should automatically extend, and we will make a deal as soon as they do. As soon as they do, we'll make a deal.
Well, we are now watching the impact on the economy, and I want to get your take on this, Mark, because once you've got air traffic cutting capacity and flight stopping, this really gets to what I've been worried about these last couple of days, and that is a serious impact on the economy. What do you think?
Without a doubt, but it's also going to affect just family relationships. I mean, we're like 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving travel starting to pick up, and the government is still shut down. We lack air traffic controllers. And Maria, last Thursday, after I wrapped up the show, it took me 14 hours to get home back to Cleveland.
14 hours.
I went to the airport, sat on the plane for 4 hours. They deplaned us. I walked down to Hertz, rented a car, drove home. My back is still in pain.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie, man. I hope everybody has safe travels. Hopefully it stops by then, but they said it could potentially go out through the holidays. So hope everybody stays safe, man. Oh, yeah, it's just insane. They need to get their shit together.
From making that drive last week. And you can't be an effective business owner or sales representative or whatever it may be if you can't get to where you need to be.
These are the kinds of stories that will trigger others to cancel their plans, cancel travel, and again, impact the GDP, broadly speaking. But Chris, I mean, have you ever seen anything like this? And we've never seen a shutdown this long.
Yeah, just historically, we've never seen one this long. And with the flights, it's finally going to maybe impact some people who have been looking at the shutdown and thinking, well, the government doesn't really affect my life. This isn't that big of a deal. The sob stories from Democrats are largely focused on early retirees not getting a subsidy for their health care. For folks like me, it's like, why should I care? Keep the government shut down. Now you might start thinking a little bit differently if you're thinking about, like me traveling with my 2-year-old back to Ohio to visit grandma and grandpa, and you're thinking about how much chaos that might create. It might make some people a little bit more concerned about the shutdown than they probably were before.
You're right. Look, we've got to talk about the SCOTUS hearing yesterday. The president's legal team defending his use of emergency tariff powers yesterday in an historic Supreme Court hearing. The president did not attend, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer were in the room. Greer will join us shortly. Bessent posted this to X. President Trump has issued the IEPA authority to address the fentanyl crisis, bring U.S. back from the edge of trade policy, secure rare earths from China, and curtailed purchases of Russian oil, all urgent national security issues. Greer said this, quote, for decades, America's global competitiveness was eroding under the weight of one-sided trading relationships. The president acted with urgency to address this national economic emergency. All the details are coming up this morning when I speak with U.S. Trade Rep Jameson Greer here at 8 a.m., so do join us. Here's what the president told Brett last night.
It would be devastating for our country if we lost that. Devastating. I think it's one of the most important, maybe the most, but one of the most important cases in the history of our country. I think taking tariffs away so that we can have national security. So, as an example, President Xi, he hit us with the rare earths, and I hit him with a tariff, 100% tariff on top of all the other tariffs that you're paying. And they called in 10 minutes and we made a deal.
You're saying you're happy with what you came out of it.
If I didn't have tariffs, we would right now, the entire world would be in a depression. Because, that wasn't a threat against us. That was a threat against the entire world. I did this for the world.
I mean, Mark, one of the issues here, I think, for markets is the fact that already this administration has collected almost $200 billion in tariff revenue. The U.S. is going to have to pay that money back if this really goes against them.
Yes, and obviously that helps to close the deficit somewhat, and that's really helped to propel stocks higher.
Right.
But
funny, first everybody was upset about tariffs.
Yeah.
There was all that craziness and hysteria, and now they realize they need that money for the deficit and debt.
And then you realize that the inflation that was supposed to happen in response to tariffs really never happened. I mean, there was a slight one-time price adjustment upward, but that's it. Now, what I'll tell you is that my take on this whole Supreme Court deal is that they're not trying to figure out if Trump can impose tariffs, but how he can impose tariffs. And I said this on this show months and months and months ago. I believe that President Trump and his administration came into Liberation Day with a backup plan already in place. Section 122 will immediately allow them to impose 15% tariffs on every single country for 150 days, and then Congress can vote to continue it. Beyond that, Section 338 will allow him to impose up to 50% tariffs on countries that discriminate against us. Right. Currency manipulation, all those kind of things. So 12 months from today, we're going to be exactly where we are right now.
And on top of that, he's also got Section 301 that he can use for unfair trade practices. Yep. So one of the things that other countries use is having incredibly low environmental standards that they use as an inherent subsidy because we're cleaner, we do it better, we can impose those kinds of tariffs. So he's got plenty of tools at his disposal.
There's also Section 112. Did you mention 112?
Nope.
There's 112, which is the Balance of Payments Authority 1974 law that allows the president to impose an additional 15% tariff on imports for 150 days. So, yes, he has backup plans, and I don't think tariffs are going anywhere, but it still will be a negative when it first comes out, if in fact that's where this is going. We'll see. We don't know how the justices are going to
Exactly.
All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Hope everybody has a good night, man. We have, let's see. We have 22 minutes on our super chat goal, man. Anyone wants to send their super chats through $1 and above, get your name written on the donor wall right now. We're just trying to fill up this wall. As you guys can see, it's almost all filled up. This side has names. We can probably go more that way. This side has names. We can definitely go more. And then we're going to have to do the top towards the ceiling and down here. But if anyone wants to show their love and send their super chats before I hop off quick, send your super chats through, get your questions asked and answered, and your name written on the wall. Again, tomorrow I'll be live regular time for the 5 to 6 hours like I usually am. Today I woke up not feeling the greatest, and I had a dentist appointment as well. So happy holidays to you as well, mister. Thank you to all the new subscribers, by the way. We gained over 50 subs today. Just amazing. You guys always show out, show up. I'm building one of the most positive, best communities on YouTube, and I'm so happy about it. You guys make me so motivated and grateful every single day. Tomorrow we'll go over the Muslims' 100-year plan to take over the government and Western civilization from the inside. I have all the documents right here, but I'm going to have to see if there's a translated part. You have a good night as well. Score, God bless you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, homie. I hope you've had a good day. My mouth is starting to get some feeling back. I still can't whistle or anything like that, so. Excuse me. All right, guys, so I'm going to do this. We're going to set a 5-minute timer. So I set a 5-minute timer. Anyone wants to send their donations through $1 and above, get your name written on the donor wall, show some love and support, help the channel continue to grow and get upgrades, along with just supporting your boy in general. I should have bought the other markers, though. These ones with the slanted tips or the chisel tips are not the best for spackle walls. I wish I knew where my other marker was. All woke people suck. Thank you, Score. I'm doing all right. Hey, man. The dentist is the least of my worries. I'm just glad that my back feels a little bit better. My back's starting to get better with that injection. It's not shooting down my leg as much. And that helps me get better energy on stream. So hopefully hopefully everything continues to get better and do better. So I got my cowboy boots on. I got some new cowboy boots. I love them. I gotta go get my daughters from school here in a little bit. $3 minutes, 30 seconds, dollar and above. What kind did you get? I don't even know. I was just online and I seen them. They're nice though. Here, I'll show you. I got size 14 shoes, so don't make fun of me. But they're very nice. They're not steel toe though. But I live in North Dakota, so I have to get boots for the snow and for shoveling. And I just want something easy. Thank you, Mud Butters. I appreciate you. But they are nice. They're comfortable. I could fall asleep right now in them. Yeah, I used to have some of those Score when I was younger. Welcome in, Lily. You caught the bare end, but I appreciate you for stopping in. God bless you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We got 2 minutes, 30 seconds for the super chat goal. Then I'm going to hop off. Hope everybody's having a good day. We've been live for an hour and a half, so at least I got an hour and a half in today. Tomorrow I will be back on live, usually like I am all the time when it comes to being on for like 5 to 6 hours. I am Central Daylight Time, so I'm on Central Daylight Time, 9:30 at the earliest or a little bit before, or at the latest 10:30, and then I'm on for about 6 hours, so. Yeah, so you do get it. I just am not looking forward to shoveling 3-foot snow drifts and having negative 50 weather and all this other shit. So that's just not what I look forward to. 2 minutes, guys. You have a great day too, Lily. I hope your day has been good so far. God bless you. But yeah, I love cowboy boots. They're so comfortable. Thank you to Divine for the subscription. I appreciate you. God bless. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the super chat goal. We got 1 out of 10 super chats, $1 and above. Get your name written on the wall. Show some love and support. Help the channel grow. The one thing I love about my dentist is they give me chapstick every time. Okay, I'm kidding. That was pretty sus. My bad. That was probably my most sus moment on the internet so far. Shout out Dublin, Ireland, Baz Killer. God bless you. Welcome back to the stream. I remember you. I remember every part of my family from my YouTube channel because you guys mean a lot to me. Thank you for tuning in today. Like I said, tomorrow I will definitely be on my usual timing and my speech won't be slurred because of my freaking dentist. I can't even blow stuff off my computer proper way. I gotta get a freaking air duster for my keyboards. Agreed, Score. All right, 10 seconds on the goal. We're just gonna end it. All right, guys. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow I will be live again, Central Daylight Time, 9:30 in the morning, all the way up to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30. I usually do 5 to 6 hours. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you guys for all the love and support. We're filling up this donor wall quick, and let alone, not only that, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers quick. We're gaining hella subscribers every day. You guys always make me motivated and grateful because we continue to grow so fast, and soon we're going to have that silver play button, and it's no playing around with me. We're going to the top. I'm already probably the most famous person out of my state. No, I'm just playing. I'm not that arrogant yet, right? No, I'm just playing around. But I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you, Score, for being here and being such a good part of the family and being a great moderator. Thank you to everybody else being here, Lily, Baz Killer, everything else like that. Everybody else who is new to the channel, thank you again. God bless, and I will